UPOU TV viewers, and welcome to our first episode of DEVC263, Communication of Scientific and Technical Information. For today's topic, we will discuss knowledge management. We have gathered our DevCon practitioners and reporters around the world to share with us the trends and possibilities, the challenges, and the relevance of knowledge management to our lives and in the communities. Now, live from Rizal, Philippines is Marc.
As the cliche goes, knowledge is power. In this day and age, information is the new currency. Knowing when to use the right information at the right time could even mean saving the world. Talk about the challenges of the 21st century, from something as grand as defending the homeland from terrorist organizations to preventing the spread of infectious diseases such as HIV and AIDS, to as simple as knowing when and how to access the right charts and graphs for the crucial client presentation. Needless to say, the pace of technological development also impacts trends and possibilities in knowledge management. With ICT, knowledge can be captured, stored, and shared electronically. In short, managed. In fact, since 1930s, the importance of intangible resources in organizations have grown from 30 to 40% to 90% with the rise of IT companies such as Google. To date, greater convergence is sought in approaching knowledge management. The international development community, for example, now involves mutual knowledge sharing and capacity development for sustainability of efforts. The private sector is also integrating social media elements in knowledge management software, making it more intuitive in the of knowledge sharing through open source or open content. By doing away with intellectual opportunities for sharing and using new ideas and practices are achieved. At the same time, with the growth of knowledge available, search indexing for knowledge management portals are also maturing. Robust search functionality will ensure that files and documents are retrieved rapidly, hence increasing productivity. Mobile technology will be front and center with the rise of smartphones and tablets. Knowledge management systems are now accessible while users are on the go. Mobile devices save money and time, and as a result, mobile technology and knowledge management software will soon be inseparable. Still, competence and experience of people cannot be replaced by the use of computerized systems. Those systems cannot provide the necessary creativity and intuition. Thus, while we embark on revolutionizing knowledge management trends through technology, finding new applications of existing knowledge, be it in the private and public arena, would flourish if we encourage creativity and openness to develop our individual and collective intellectual capital.
Thank you, Marc, our live correspondent from Rizal, for sharing with us the trends and possibilities of knowledge management. Now, let's know more. What is knowledge management?
We have learned that science and technical communication is a form of an emerging discipline called knowledge management. Knowledge management consists of initiatives, processes, strategies, and systems that sustain and enhance the storage, assessment, sharing, refinement, and creation of knowledge. Alan Frost believes that knowledge management is about making the right knowledge available to the right people. Communication technology. A similarly broad definition is presented by Davenport and Prusak in 2000, which states that knowledge management is managing the corporation's knowledge through systematically and organizationally specified processes for acquiring, organizing, sustaining, applying, sharing, and renewing both the tacit and explicit knowledge of employees to enhance organizational performance and create value. Explicit knowledge can be readily articulated, codified, accessed, and verbalized. It can easily be transmitted to others. Most forms of explicit knowledge are documented and can be stored in certain media. The information contained in reports, manuals, research studies, encyclopedias, textbooks are good examples of explicit knowledge. Now, are you familiar with the term stock knowledge? This could refer to tacit knowledge or implicit knowledge. It is more difficult to manage because it is stored in your head. The interesting part with tacit knowledge is that Prior to technological breakthroughs that digitally capture your tacit knowledge, you cannot share ownership of this knowledge with others permanently, unless you put it on document. Interesting, isn't it? One more thing. Both knowledge, explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge, can be put together to create a knowledge base, or similar to a database, that can be shared and reused. A sharing and reusing of knowledge is the main goal of knowledge management. We can easily say that today's internet and World Wide Web is a good example of knowledge management solution. There are a number of terminologies that we often mix up, like words knowledge, information, data, and other IT related words. Going back to digital devices, there are three kinds of digital entities. Frequently hear the words data, information, and knowledge used as if they are the same thing. Knowledge is what we know, it all together. There are two sources that the brain uses to build this knowledge. It is called information and data. Are data. Data are descriptions of the world and facts of the world, which are known through our five senses. Using information allows us to expand our knowledge beyond the range of our senses. We can capture data in information. For example, if I take picture of mine, the photograph is called the information. But what is inside the information is data. I can simply forward my picture to other people to share the data captured in the information. If the picture is lost, the information was lost too, but the data wasn't. Through information, we are able to share knowledge and data beyond the limitation of our five senses.
Alright, so I'm reporting now the issues and the challenges that knowledge management is currently facing. So first is time. Do we have time to share knowledge? Because every day we are prioritizing only our deliverables, our assigned work of the day. Second, connected to time is introversion. We are afraid to learn something. Alright, so something restricts us to learn. The willingness is not there, and we have also trust issues to get information from other people. That's the second one. The third one is motivation. So sometimes we will only share knowledge if that is one of the tasks of the day. Like for example, you're transitioning some process to that person. So that's the only time you are motivated because that is your task. Again, security. Most of the knowledge is being uploaded, or most of the data is being uploaded online, and one of the highest risk in online is of course that the data encryption, the exploitation of data, and of course the hackers or the hacking issue. So that's one of the risks. Next is keeping up with technology. Of course, we have a lot of technology right now that's supporting the knowledge management. So this is only applicable to those who can afford it, to those who can afford technology supporting the knowledge management, right? So the next is measuring knowledge. How can we measure that knowledge is being shared, that the knowledge that's being shared is successful? So we don't have any measurement like that. Instead, we have to look into the behavior change. Next is keeping data accurate. One example is the Wikipedia. We have several versions of this particular article in Wikipedia. So the question is, how can we, or what are the parameters so that one website can possess, so that we can rely on to that. Lastly is interpreting data. So yes, we have data, we have information, but we also have to modify that based on the culture or the background of the specific reader, because if not, they will not understand us.
So, how do we apply knowledge management in our society, in our daily lives? Behind me is a World Vision office in Swaziland. I work for World Vision in the Philippines, but there are 100 World Vision countries in the whole wide world. So, how do we keep our brand as a competitive and trusted non-government organization for humanitarian and development work? Knowledge management is the bread and butter in our organization. So how does World Vision apply knowledge management in the organization. I can cite some few examples. We use internal tools and systems through ICT where we store data and information about personal information of staff, project or organizational performance, and organizational updates. We also have an interactive knowledge management database where we upload surveys, announcements, and organizational changes. What are these tools? In World Vision, we use SharePoint, ShareFile for photo database, Share database for stories publication, World Vision Central where we upload updates about the entire World Vision offices, and many more. And how do ordinary people apply knowledge management in their daily lives? It's simple. We don't want to avoid making the same mistakes twice. For example, with what happened to Typhoon Yolanda in Tacloban, through knowledge management, we can now prevent future loss of lives and properties. If engineers learn why highways and buildings collapse during a previous earthquake, they can design new ones to better withstand future earthquakes. Well, if we don't learn, we will experience this over and over again. Knowledge management is not only sharing our success, but also our failures so that we will learn from our mistakes.
Okay na. ASTI has a division on knowledge management. Can you share with us what KM does?
In ASTI?
Yes.
Okay, so KM Division actually functions as a group of ASTI that captures the knowledge within the organization itself. So, and knowing that DOST ASTI is a research and development institute of the Department of Science and Technology, most of our activities are focused on R&D projects. Okay, so first things first, inside the Knowledge Management Division, we have the Management Information System Group, wherein they develop certain ICT tools. We use ICT as a tool to capture the lessons learned, best practices, and knowledge. And then we develop a certain technology to actually to make the knowledge more useful to the users or to the internal users as well as to the external beneficiaries of the projects. Okay, so one example of this is the knowledge base, where it's an internal knowledge base. It's an ICT or internal website in ASTI that captures all the processes, procedures, and rules that are in line with the government policies. And then we also use the website. We also have the ERP, or this is called as the Enterprise Resource Planning, wherein it's actually used by DOST ICTO as of this moment, or DICT na, no?
Okay.
And DOST ASTI, but it is planned to be used by other government agencies as well.
Okay.
And then other activities are external knowledge networks development, wherein we enter into a project that involves other partners outside the Philippines or outside the OST ASTI, and the most recent that we entered into is connecting ICT in Europe and Southeast Asia. So we have several organizations from Europe and then Southeast Asia. They gathered together in one project and we shared knowledge from different expertise from different topics on ICT.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is Angelita Nicolas. Back to the studio.
Thank you to all our reporters, and we hope that you learned something today. This is Franilyn Sendiong-Dacono. Thank you for watching.